Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut. We're less than 50 days away from the World Cup and only hours away from the World Cup squad announcement. Will the Indian management throw some surprises our way, or will the squad look like just what we're expecting? Joining me for the show is Rohit Juglan, Bharat Ramraj, and Vaibhav Tripathi. Rohit, I'll start with you because you've got a network, you talk to a lot of people. Tell us about the squad announcements. There are some places obviously which are sealed and packed and cemented, but there are also a lot of spots that are up for discussion. There are still up for grabs. We talk about Shubman Gill's position. That's for later. Of course, he'll be in the squad, but when it comes to
Yeah,
the playing 11, there are still some questions. Shivam
yeah.
Dubey versus Rinku Singh is another topic that we could talk about. When it comes to the wicket keeping spot as well, are
Hmm.
there any spots up for grabs, or do you think the squad that we're seeing right now for the South Africa tour is pretty much it when it comes to the World Cup?
So very much it's on the sidelines of getting copy pasted from what we are having at this point of time, because this team believes in certain kind of longevity as far as selecting a player is concerned. They have selected Rinku Singh for the Asia Cup and they have dropped Washington Sundar at that particular point of time. But after that, if you remember the Australia series, he is promoted in the batting order also. If you remember that. I think the Hobart T20 where he played, I think that 40 odd innings, and so the team management obviously believing in his batting abilities, and obviously power play bowler, we all know. And yesterday's match was a perfect example that how you can use Washington Sundar at certain situations where the batters are going all guns blazing. How you can use him is a perfect example. The last game was a perfect example. Sorry, but I think the real position to grab is something where they have to take a call on whether they want a Washington Sundar or a Rinku Singh. I think that's the main point at this point of time. That will they want some batting support, and going by the history of that, how ICC prepare wickets for the World Cups and the Champions trophies. It's not going to be something which will assist bowlers. Yes, there will be certain help for the bowlers, especially spinners, because you are playing in India. But I think if you go by that logic, I don't think there will be a need of any additional batter. But when you talk about a batter like Rinku Singh, look, you have a backup, maybe now we can debate on this, that whether you will start with a Shubman Gill or you will start with a Sanju Samson. What Sanju did yesterday, he made it pretty clear that what India was missing at top of the order. So if Sanju will start, then Shubman Gill will be your backup for 1, 2, 3, batting position number 1, number 2, number 3. If you add a Rinku Singh there, he will be your backup for a number 4, 5, or 6. So then my point is, if you are taking a Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Ishan Kishan, it won't help you for the lower middle order. Yes, you can say that Ishan played multiple times in that lower order position for Mumbai Indians, also for multiple teams as far as his batting position is concerned. So what I'm looking at it, that will they choose a Rinku Singh over a Washington Sundar? It's looking difficult, and that's why I at the very start I said this, that it will be a copy paste from what we are seeing here as a 15-member squad. But I think yes, they will definitely talk about that. Yes, a slump in form of Shubman Gill, not only Shubman Gill but Suryakumar Yadav also. Because he's the captain, nobody is talking about him. But yes, there will be discussions around him. There will be discussions about whether you want a Washington Sundar or Rinku Singh, because there is a what we call in Hindi ek खेमेबाजी hai. There are certain people who want a replication of Asia Cup squad, and then there are certain people who want what you are backing from last couple of series, back that squad and play with the similar squad what we are having at this point of time, Gargi.
Weber, ever since we've seen Gautam Gambhir come at the help, we know that the management goes in with the philosophy of batting till number 8, having that batting depth, especially with all rounders. And Rohit brings up a very good point here that when we talk about ICC tournaments, obviously you will see sporting wickets. You won't see a spin wicket come out. Maybe in Colombo, where we have a couple of matches, the final will obviously be there. If India and Pakistan are playing, there is one India-Pakistan game as well on February 15th. So when you think of this scenario, when you think of Colombo in isolation, do you think, that extra spin spot will come into play, Washington Sundar being brought in the squad because of that?
See, I think as you rightly mentioned that selectors and the team management are perfectly aligned when it comes to having a long batting order, because they are very much into all rounders. And I don't think, like Rohit Bhai said, there could be a possibility where they will ponder upon selecting Washington Sundar or Rinku Singh. This is a selection debate that could be up during the meeting, but I think it is more or less settled. Before South Africa series, if you are dropping Rinku Singh, I think it's a clear-cut indication that Washington Sundar has already been preferred, and you might not see Rinku Singh. And it has been a long-term philosophy, like since, as you said, since Gautam Gambhir took the charge. Washington Sundar has struggled to find a spot in the playing 11 in his IPL teams, but he's been constantly getting opportunities for India, and that tells you that India needs a spin bowling all rounder. After Ravindra Jadeja, they have locked in Washington Sundar for that same role. So if conditions allow you to play an extra all rounder, they will go for Washington Sundar along with Akshar Patel, obviously. And Varun Chakravarti has made a case for himself as India's number one T20 spinner, first choice spinner. So I think conditions will dictate a lot when it comes to selecting the playing 11. And again, it will be very unfortunate if we won't be seeing more of Arshdeep in the T20 World Cup, because obviously you have Jasprit Bumrah and then you have Hardik and Shivam Dube as other seam bowling options. So I think conditions will depend a lot, but I don't think there's a debate of selecting Washington Sundar or not. I think Washington Sundar's place is more or less settled. It's about whether you want to have Rinku Singh as a backup batter or not, because in this team you see a lot of all rounders, a lot of utility options, but are not a lot of specialist options. So when it comes to playing 11 as well during the World Cup matches, because in India, whenever World Cup happens in 2023 also, we have seen the conditions are very flat, whether it's Delhi, whether it's Bombay, typical T20 wickets where you will see high scoring games. So then I don't think you will be requiring more of Kuldeep. You will see a lot of games where you will see Kuldeep and Varun Chakravarti playing together, or Arshdeep and Bumrah playing together. I think it will be Washington Sundar, Shivam Dube, Akshar Patel getting in the places over specialist bowlers. So when it comes to selection, I think two things: whether you will select the Rinku Singh as a backup batter. Second thing, what will be interesting in the meeting will be whether you name Shubman Gill as your vice captain or not. I think this will be one important point, whether you are picking him as vice captain or not. If you are picking him vice captain, then obviously he becomes a regular part of your playing 11. But if you are not picking him just because of his form, his current form, then I think that opening spot will be up for grabs. Then you can replace Shubman Gill with Sanju Samson if he doesn't perform in New Zealand in the New Zealand series.
Of course, that's one topic that I really wanted to talk in depth about as well. We'll get to that Shubman Gill vice captain position. But Bharat, coming to you now again, as we've been saying, just a second, I'll mute. Oh, he's gone. He's disappeared. So someone from that squad will also disappear, just like Rohit, just like Bharat disappeared here. Let's see who it is. But Rohit, now that
Why
we're
you are
talking
me
about,
making me disappear? I am sitting here in 4K quality.
of course. But Shubman Gill, let's talk about Shubman Gill because and Bharat is back. How long will he be back for?
No,
There
I didn't repent this. That's all. What can I do?
He'll be like Rinku Singh now. Come
in
and
and
play.
out.
Somehow the internet went. So.
But yes, I wanted to talk about before we get to Shubman Gill again. Wanted to talk about that Rinku Singh, Washington Sundar, position that we're talking about. Because if Washington Sundar comes in, he can't bat anything upwards of number 7 or number 8. What do you think will happen here? Looking at the kind of wickets that ICC will prepare, do you think it is Rinku Singh who is a starter in the squad, or do you think it's Washington Sundar who makes it in the squad?
See, the problem for me with Washington Sundar is exactly what you just mentioned, him batting at number 7 or 8. I don't think he's still there when it comes to providing the finishing touches in the slog overs in limit overs cricket. Yes, one can counter me by saying that, oh, he smashed Sean Abbott some weeks ago, but Sean Abbott is definitely a bowler with modest abilities. So, barring that in limit overs cricket, I can't really remember him coming out and providing the finishing touches too many times. Even last game in Zimbabwe, where I guess Rohit Juglan was there, where he took it till the end and India went on to lose that match, that T20I match in Zimbabwe last year. So that is
But
my
there was a
problem.
couple of games in IPL, Bharat, where he played really well. I'm not
Yeah,
contradicting
I'm
your
not
thoughts,
saying
but
he has never done it. I'm not saying he's never done it, but I don't think he's still there. See, if it's a knockout game, somewhere a knockout game in semi-final, if Washington Sundar is coming at 7 or 8, with India needing 30 runs or 15 balls, I won't be very sure that he will do it. But having said that, I understand why the selectors want someone like Washington Sundar, because they want to balance the side. He's someone who bowls this quickish off breaks, bowls stump to stump line in limit overs cricket. It's basically, especially in T20 cricket, it's basically about defensive bowling. You don't want someone who's just a wicket taker. So I think that is where I think Washington Sundar may just pip Rinku Singh, though I like Rinku Singh. If it comes down to 1 versus 2, then that is where I think Washington Sundar may just pip Rinku Singh because of the balance that he brings to the side. Having said that, I would want Washington Sundar to improve his finishing skills in limit overs cricket. Obviously, someone very much a hard-working cricketer. I understand that, but I think that is one skill I believe Washington Sundar needs to upgrade.
All right. Now, Rohit, coming back to that Shubman Gill question, vice captaincy, that tag that is in front of Shubman Gill's name in every team list that we've seen so far. Throughout this series, we've seen 4 games now. Only one innings, that too runner ball innings from Shubman Gill. He has been largely unconvincing in that opening spot. I know that some people are arguing that Shubman Gill could play that anchor's role for Team India. Abhishek Sharma can bat around him, but what you've seen from Shubman Gill so far, even in that runner ball innings that we've seen, is that as soon as the cushion of Abhishek Sharma is gone, Shubman Gill starts looking uncomfortable taking the lead in this particular format. Tests, he's incredible. ODIs, he understands the tempo of the game well, but T20s is where the problem is here. So when you think of picking this squad because of how Shubman Gill has not been able to make an impact even as an anchor, do you think that vice captaincy tag could be gone?
so there are multiple things as far as him being considered as someone who can look. It's about giving roles to him. There were positions, you were there in the Asia Cup and he scored that super 46 or 48 in 26-28 balls. He was better than Abhishek Sharma on that very day. Now you remember that innings in Canberra, it stopped by, I think, rain, but he started in a different flow at that point of time. So I'm not saying that he can't play with a better strike rate. It's all about what role Team India is giving to him. If the team is saying that Abhishek will look after the hitting, get the tone going, then he'll play like that. And if the team is saying that like the yesterday's game, the way the batters were coming into the crease, forget about Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya is Hardik Pandya. He can smash from ball one. We all know that. But look at the intent from a Tilak Verma. He started with a boundary. Look at the intent from a Shivam Dubey. He went from the word go. It, it wasn't like that Shivam Dubey can't hit a ball, but it's looking like that team has sent a certain message to the players that we have to play all guns blazing. We have to, carry forward that gung ho approach. Why? Because you got a certain kind of start from Abhishek Sharma and Sanju Samson. You weren't getting these kind of starts as far as this series or the Australia series is concerned. So it's all about the message the team is giving to you. Beat Sanju Samson, beat Abhishek Sharma, beat Tilak Verma, Suryakumar Yadav. It was looking like that there is a message conveyed. The second thing about vice captaincy, I don't think that vice captaincy will be a point of discussion here, because I think this team is not looking, Shubman Gill as a temporary option. They know that, he has to, give us many years as far as leadership is concerned. And we all know that, the BCCI, the management, there is a history about, getting one captain for all formats. In India, you hardly see this, that there are multiple captains to multiple formats. So I don't think, and he will be at this point of time also. Yes, you can say that at this point of time he's not having, that runs, to support that argument that whether he will be the next captain or not. But I think team is looking at him as the next captain. So I don't think that there will be any discussions as far as the vice captain Shubman Gill is concerned. Yes, there is a slump of form. Yes, you can start with Sanju Samson with that New Zealand series. But dropping your vice captain, I think it's not new in Indian cricket. We remember that incident in 2018 when South Africa series they dropped Ajinkya Rahane just to set in a Rohit Sharma there. Virat Kohli dropped Ajinkya Rahane, but it doesn't went like this. That after that Ajinkya Rahane never came into the side or never led the side. After that he was in the side also, and after that he led India to that historic series down under in Australia in 2020 2021. So it doesn't go like this, that you can't drop your vice captain. Obviously, if there is no runs, and in Shubman's case, that's the reality, that he doesn't have runs at this point of time. So you can definitely drop him. Being a vice captain doesn't give you a guarantee that, oh, you will be in the side. And look, Gautam Gambhir is very shrewd in these kind of things. He is not someone who will take care of your emotional angles also every time. No, he can take the calls, he can take the hard calls. And I think it's not very far. If you see Shubman Gill stats, there was a communication yesterday also, me and Vaibhav discussing this in our Hindi video, that just before the toss there was a conversation between Gautam Gambhir and Shubman Gill, and I said to Vaibhav that this might be that discussion, that, oh, you missed out on this one, but keep yourself prepared, practice hard. The ethic, we all know Shubman Gill's ethic. Gagi, you were there in England. We all know that work ethic wise, he's the best. He's the even Yashasvi Jaiswal, I heard him saying in an interview in recent times that the most disciplined and the hardworking player in this team is Shubman Gill. So I think he
Yeah.
has to go back to the nets, trying to resolve things, and he'll be back. He'll be back with a bang.
Absolutely. And we have visuals coming in, exclusive visuals here. Ajit Agarkar has reached the BCCI headquarters. So this is what's going on. This is ahead of the meeting that BCCI will have today on the World Cup squad announcement. And then soon we'll hear in the press conference what the squad will actually look like. But Vaibhav, going over to you now. We've spoken about Shubman Gill and that vice captaincy tag there. But when it comes to Suryakumar Yadav, obviously, there could be. I do not see Suryakumar Yadav being dropped ahead of the World Cup. I don't see that being a possibility at all, despite the lean patch, despite the inconsistency in form. But at the same time, do you think that they could compensate for the kind of batting that we've seen from Suryakumar Yadav with a change in the batting position?
See, I think in regards to Suryakumar Yadav and his form, I think it's high time that team management should give him a specific role and specific batting position. I know he has talked about this, that only opener slot is fixed and rest of the batting is flexible, and there's a talk of versatility among the batters. But I think because you are going through a long slump in form, you're not getting runs, and it's been an year. It's not like that only since the last 3-4 months you have not been scoring runs. Ever since you became the captain of the team, you have I think it's high time that Suryakumar Yadav should get back to number 3 and should start scoring runs, because he is one of those batters. On his day he can win you matches single-handedly. We have seen that in the past. He's still one of the most impactful T20 batters around the world. But for that, I think he should be given opportunities. And you have 5 games before the World Cup. I think he should be given all those 5 games at number 3, irrespective of whatever happens, whether your openers get a good start, whether you have suffered a batting collapse. Irrespective of the situation of the game, you should lock Suryakumar Yadav at number 3 for the 5 games before the World Cup. Let him spend some time at the crease and see what happens, because it's important that your captain heads into a mega event with a lot of runs. I know team has been doing well. He hasn't lost a single bilateral series. He has won the Asia Cup as well. But that is on his captaincy side. If you look at his as a batter, then Surya Kumar Yadav hasn't been able to make that impact. And again, before Surya Kumar Yadav was made captain, this was the debate, that whether he'll be able to handle the pressure of captaincy and manage his batting as well. So he hasn't been able to do that. Means he hasn't been able to score runs while he's leading the team. Yes, the results have come, but at the cost of his batting. So I think and we know that this is the last T20 World Cup. I am not seeing personally Suryakumar Yadav leading India after this T20 World Cup. I think this is his last. This will be his last assignment, and then his position will come under scrutiny if he doesn't perform well at, or if India doesn't do well in the World Cup. So for me, if you want to get Surya back in form, you should get him back at number 3 for the 5 games against New Zealand in the home series before the World Cup. I think that should set him well. If he scores runs in that series, I think he will head into the World Cup with a lot of confidence, and that's what you want from your captain.
Final couple of minutes on the show, and we will take some comments from our viewers. Indian supporter 111 here is saying Gill is not only out of place in the T20Is, but massively disbalances the team combination. Sanju is a better opener than Gill, brings the wicket-keeping option, open spot for a finisher like Rinku as well. Indian supporter, what you're talking about is the playing 11. So, but all of them will find a place in the squad. Sanju will find a place. Rinku might as well find a place, and so will Gill. But Bharat, if I were to ask you this to answer this question, what are your thoughts about it?
Again, this I think this question has been answered about 100 times. But see, I will go back to the same point. See, with Shubman Gill, one thing I have something against him is his strike rate of. I'm only thinking about T20Is here. I'm not going into what he did in the IPL for GT. His strike rate is 138 in T20Is. If you look at the studies, if you look at all the research that has been done with regard to T20 cricket, then obviously power play is very, very important. It becomes a very key factor because that is where a team can hurt the opposition. And a lot of times, T20 cricket, power play decides the outcome of the match. And you could see it with RCB as well recently. The way Peel Salt played, it's not like he scored every single time 100 of 70 or 80 balls. A lot of those 40s, 30s, and 50s proved to be very, very useful. So I think that is Shubman Gill's main problem. I'm not very sure how he can branch out his game. Maybe sometimes he needs to look at playing lofted strokes through covers, through extra cover without really charging down the deck. I think that is something that might go against Gill because he's always looking to come down the track. But if you look at modern day batting, even if you look at the Big Bash League final, recent Big Bash League final, someone like Finn Allen in great conditions for batting, he was just staying in the crease, staying deep, hitting through covers, hitting through maybe occasionally extra cover, hitting through mid wicket. He was not really coming down the track. That is how T20 cricket is moving forward. So from that perspective, in a playing 11, I might just prefer Sanju Samson. I know he has had problems in his pace and bounce from England's tall boys. A couple of England's tall boys did trouble him when he tried to play the pull stroke. But he's, I think, improved his hitting range in the recent past with good batting pitch like in Ahmedabad. Yeah, I know Gill has scored a lot of runs there as well, but on a good batting pitch, I just have a gut feel that Sanju Samson might do slightly better in terms of impact. Gill might still score a few more runs, but in terms of impact, Sanju Samson might have a small edge.
All right, fair points there. And before we close the show, there's a Bharat, I'm going to mute you because there's an odd echo. Okay, there is a bit of an update that BCCI has actually planned some rest and training programs for players before the T20 World Cup starts. So that might be after the selection happens or now. So we'll find out more points about that, more updates about that as well. We'll be back after the press conference is done of the team selection. So don't forget to join us then. We'll give you more points and more details about that rest and training program as well. Thank you so much, Rohit, Bharat, and Weber for joining us. We'll be back very soon. Don't forget to join us after the press conference is done. And Rohit and Weber will now go live on Hindi at 12:30. So join them as well. Goodbye.